subject. I just wanted to go, just to be clear on what I'm doing, what I'm speaking about. What is it I'm after? You remember that King David got chosen, and it was some years before he came into his rule, and he was anointed early, and then he became king. And we know about all the testing and all the things that David had to go through. I mean, our generation has been through a lot too. People that were around 70s, 80s, well, maybe 60s. There's still some around in the 60s, well, actually, to be fair, the earlier ones have usually been in apostolic or prophetic positions or pastors of churches by now. I just want to explain about what's happened in my life, because I think it's important for those who are trying to listen to me and understand what I'm saying. I went to Emsworth Church, and I'd been there for a couple of years, and I think I went back to the old Baptist church where I came from. It was by now what they call a King's Church. I think it still is called the King's Church, Amersham, Old Amersham. But anyway, it was still early days, and I went to this meeting. It was still amazingly Baptist, actually. This must have been about 79, 80, something like that. And I was used in a prophecy. I had a prophecy, so I gave a prophetic word, which was to the effect that it was addressing the young people and saying that they should listen to what Jesus was saying. But it was said in that Melchizedek order kind of way that I speak and move, which sounds undermining to the former move, the former infrastructure, and it didn't go down well at all. Didn't go down well at all. I don't think I've been back since. And this is the spirit which I am in, and which I am sharing. You see, King David was going to be king, and he went through what he went through. But our generation have been through that plus. Why? Because we're not about kinging. We're not, well, at least maybe you are. I've been addressing a friend of mine who's Ghanaian over the last month as an evangelist, and really speaking strongly to him, but he won't hear it. He's determined that his agenda is going to get through, and he's just in his Pentecostal thing. And what can you do? Jesus is about raising a people who know Christ as them, who live Galatians 2:20 as consciousness. This is what we pass on to whoever rubs against us, rubs with us. This is the fragrance that we are sharing. This is what St. Paul was sharing. He was not sharing, I will build a network with St. Paul on it, going right through Asia Minor. The reason why he had to build on fresh foundation, because everybody else was building that way. So when he went to a virgin soil, he stamped the Melchizedek order on that soil. I am not preaching Chris Welch Ministries. I am not preaching I have an apostolic calling, but this is my apostolic calling, to share the Melchizedek order and how you tap into it. You do not need to refer to me. You do not need to refer to the people I'm speaking to. I am not going to subdivide my authority down chains throughout nations. You have to contact by your heart Jesus Christ. You have to live from him. You have to learn yourself what it is to have Galatians 2:20 consciousness every day, every moment of the day. You have to learn what it is, because if you learn that, you are in the body of Christ. You are in the bride that builds itself in love, who speaks to one another in truth and love. You can remain in the old order. You can be like Jonathan. He never left the old order of Saul, but he was amazing because he was a servant to the new order. You can be that way.